Hi guys, welcome back. So the final game of round one of the Six Nations 2023 was an absolute fantastic game. Italy 24, France 29. France do enough to win. I think they deserved to win because Italy didn't quite do enough. France held on fairly well and they've got a bonus point as well. So results-wise, great result for France. Performance-wise, I think their coaches will be a little bit worried, certainly in attack. Defence, I think, held out pretty well. For Italy, more promising signs. They are competitive now. In 2022, we saw they were competitive. They've carried it on in 2023. Took France right to the line. That's what we want to see. You know, they're not going to win loads of games, but we want to see them take teams close, and they did it here, absolutely. Team-wise, they look great. They're really coordinated. They all know what they're doing. They're coached incredibly well, possibly overcoached at times maybe. And I think maybe they do need a few more stars in there to really win games regularly, but it's looking up. Really good first opening weekend of the Six Nations. So right from the off, you can tell it's going to be a good game. Italy nearly get in out wide. Ramos intercepts and nearly puts Pinot in, so you know it's going to be a great game. Then on 4 minutes, there's an unnecessary charge down. Varney has no protection from the ruck, and Flamand with his go-go gadget arms sticks him up, gets a charge down, and the ball bounces nicely. 0-7, terrible start for Italy. They've really got to protect that box kick. You could see France building the massive caterpillar ruck. Not that I like it, but they were protecting their kicker much better. Plus Dupont is probably a better kicker and a better player than Varney. But anyway, that was a charge down try. Good start for France, and visually France are looking huge. Just something to make note of. Their pack is absolutely massive, and Italy, they are outmatched physically, which is possibly why they try and make up for it through intricate team play. Dupont's making a difference as well. So visually and with that try, it's looking pretty good for France from the start. And throughout the match, the contrast in attacking styles is really, really interesting to have a look at. France have a very simple system, to be honest, but they do look to offload quite a lot in this first half, keep the ball alive. You know, that power and the offloading is a heady mix to try and stop, but their Achilles heel is when they offload too much, it gets too messy and size can swamp them in defence. So it can unlock defences, but also it can bring the defence onto them as well. So getting that balance right is something France have to work on all the time, of course, but it is great when they do get the offload going because it's so hard to defend because it's so unpredictable. So the early exchanges, about 10 minutes in, it looks like France are the most threatening team, but penalties are getting in the way of getting them into a real flow, and that carried on for the whole game, with France conceding penalties being a real Achilles heel for them. On 12 minutes in, I'm making a note that you can start to see the attacking shape emerging for Italy. We saw it in 2022. There's loads of loops, pull behind. It's very intricate. Everybody has to be right on point, and when they get it right, it's amazing, but they can easily get it wrong as well. So like I said, with offloading with France, the complexity of Italy's attack is possibly their weak point as well as a strength. On 14 minutes, it's the Italian winger Bruno who makes a mistake, and he made a couple of errors, to be honest. They are missing Montiuani, that is for sure. He goes for a kick from his 22 but gets caught just before kicking, swipes thin air, embarrassing when you do that, and France swoop. Olivon looks like he's over the line but just drops it in the act of grounding the ball. A huge let-off for Italy. Olivon really should have scored there. So yeah, a bit of luck, but you know, you need your luck in these games. And as I said, in the first half, it's just fascinating to see the two ways these sides attack. The organic, simple attack of France with their flair, and the more mechanical, complex attacking shape of Italy. It's a great matchup. I'm really enjoying it. Then on 17 minutes, the pressure tells on Italy. This time it's from the French scrum, who completely dominate an Italian put-in. It's a cheap way to get a 10-metre line-out maul. It looks like it's on out wide with hands, but Intermac does go for the kick. Capozzo makes a real hash of collecting it, to be honest, under pressure from Pinot. And Ramos has an easy dot down, which he nearly drops, but the try is there. So that's 3-12 at this point. Now, let me know how I say the name Capozzo. Am I saying it correctly? I'm not sure. Please tell me the pronunciation there. Now, Italy had already got on the board with a penalty, and as their attack starts to click a little bit more, they get another penalty, so it's 6-12, so they're staying in touch with these penalties from France. And at this point, I'm kind of thinking Italy are just looking a bit too overcoached at the moment. They're starting to make mistakes on their run around, putting themselves under pressure, attacking a bit too much from their own half, from their 22 as well, putting their kickers under pressure because of it. So I'm a little bit unsure about this attacking shape, but it gets a lot better as the game goes on. But you can't switch off with France because individually they're just so good. This time Aldrit swoops on a ball lightning fast that just squirts out of a ruck. This is on 25 minutes and Intermac launches a perfect cross-field kick under a bit of pressure for Demortier to score a try. 6-19. Fantastic stuff. It looks like France are stretching ahead, just individually that bit better. But one thing that keeps Italy in the game throughout is the amount of penalties that France are giving away. Not in dangerous positions as well. They don't need to push it, but they do. It's the 6th penalty of the half already on 29 minutes. So Italy go to a 10-metre line-out maul, and fantastic stuff from Capowazzo again. He goes from open to blind, super quick, stops and goes on Aldrit, just gets enough space to dive and score with one hand. Amazing individual try. He pops up with such crucial tries for Italy, so that's 11-19. Now I think that try rattles France a bit. A few of their players do get a bit twitchy in this game and they start to get too loose and a bit too desperate for the offloads, forcing it, giving away more penalties, and Italy start growing into the game. Their accuracy starts to increase a little bit on their attacking phases. It's just a great game to watch, to be honest. The contrasting styles, the contrasting momentum shifts. I love it. On 37 minutes, it's the 8th penalty of the half for France, killing all their momentum. Italy get to 1 metre out, but the over-intricacy of their attack bites them here, plus big pressure from France in defence pushes them back a good 20 metres. But of course they give away another penalty, so Italy do get some more points. 14-19 at half time. Great contrast between the sides, and the game is tight. Now, as the second half starts, clearly the French coaches have seen what I've seen in that first half, with them forcing the offload too much. And the first attack of the game, there's no offloads whatsoever. Big pods of 3, hard lines from the likes of Ficou, but when they get the penalty advantage, then they force the offloads and go for it and see if they can make it stick. So I really like that tactic. They get a penalty off that, 14-22, so good signs that France are trying to get back into the game, get control of that game. But the story of the game continues with fantastically coordinated attack from Italy. It really is beautiful to watch now. They go all the way to a 5 metre line-out maul, inches short, of course another penalty from France, and they're in big trouble with yellow cards. And yes, they do get a yellow card for those cumulative penalties. Olivon goes off and they get a penalty try, so that is absolutely huge. 21-22, 1 point in it, game on. And I make a little note at this point, it's not just big players like Flamand with the charge down threat for France. Dupont is so dangerous, goodness me, he's the best scrum half in the world. He is putting all sorts of pressure on those Italian kickers as well. Now, in that yellow card period, France actually do a really good job at pinning Italy in their own half. Italy try and overplay a little bit, can't get out of their own half. France just keep them pinned in there. Ramos could have got a kick, but he actually misses a penalty, which is unusual for him because he's so good. But just before the yellow card period is up, Italy get yet another penalty off France and do take the lead, 24-22. So they go in the lead. What a great game. We're back to 15 versus 15. Who's going to get it done? But on 66 minutes, France decide to get their act together and just go simple. Huge maul with their massive pack, makes ground. Great crash up line from Ficou. Tawi Fifanua gets his arm free with a lovely offload to Jalabert. An unstoppable try. When you play that simply and with direction, you're going to get tries most of the time when you've got the players like France. So that is 24-29, the advantage now to France. Now in the last 10 minutes of the game, it's actually Italy who come back into ascendancy with their attack against the French defence, and of course France giving away too many penalties as well. Some good play from some of their players though, like Jalonche with a lightning fast jackal, getting them out of trouble. But the team coordination for Italy is at its peak now in the last 10 minutes. They get a penalty to go within 2 points, but Allen pushes it wide. They really needed that. But they're still going at it. All Italian attack versus French defence, and to be fair, it's on as even. Some massive defence from France. I think Sean Edwards will be pretty happy with their defence actually. Macalou with a massive jackal as well in midfield, just keeping them in the game. But it's still Italy attacking right until the end, and penalty after penalty given away by France. Italy are fired up. They know they've got some speed out wide. Allen though 2 horror kicks to touch from those penalties. They absolutely should be 5 metres out. Instead, they're on the 22, and then they get another kick to go 5 metres out, but they're only 10 metres out, just not good enough from Allen. France turn over the maul and hang on, and actually they've got a bonus point win. So even though they were hanging on for the last 10 minutes and they were giving away stacks of penalties, they've got a bonus point away win. For Italy, they got a bonus point by keeping it close. Now, I had predicted France to win, but certainly I didn't think it was going to be that close. So fair play to Italy, some fantastic team play, but France just a little bit too strong. Get the deserved win, I think. Italy will go and face England next week with quite a lot of confidence. France know they have to get a lot better to beat Ireland, who won comfortably against Wales. It sets it up just perfectly. Pop all the comments below on this game. Love to hear from you, and I'll catch you next time.